Let's explore SNMP blocks together in the Teledeogram program. To communicate over the SNMP protocol, we first bring the SNMP agent block to the screen. To establish the connection, we first define the UDP listen port in the respective field as read community, write community. In the program we're using, the default port is 161. So, we enter 161 in the UDP listen port field. If applicable, we enter read community, write community in this field. You can write public or leave it blank. If you know the information of the system you will connect to, you can enter it there. Let's continue now. After making the definitions, let's examine two different block types and look at reading and writing operations over the SNMP protocol. We took one word register and one long register for SNMP reading and writing. The OID definition format is as shown on the screen, where first comes the data type, which is the block type, next to the precode, then it's determined according to the block number. For example, for a variable with a block number of 3004, it's shown as 30 multiplied by 100 plus 4, which is 30.4. If it's 3000, then it's 30.0. If it's 6000, you can think of it as 60.0. Let's do our test. First, we enter the IP of the device we will. Let's add the project to device and establish the connection again and start live monitoring. Let's assign a value to a word variable. Let's say we have a value like 20. Let's also write a large number to a long variable. How do we read these two values? Let's see together. Since the data type from the previous point is word, let me show it again. Here, if it's a Boolean value, we write 1, 2 for word, 3 for float, and 4 for long. For reading a word variable, we put 2 after the dot. Then a dot. We mentioned the format of the block number. 30.0. So, we read the data of the word variable in the 3000th block. Let's change the value. Let's observe from the other side. Let's give a value like 70. When we press again, we see the value of 70 displayed on the screen. Let's continue now. We were going to enter 4 for the log register. Since the block number is 6000. First, we enter the block type 4. Since it's the 6000th block, we enter 60.0. And as soon as we read, we observe we will send a reading again. Now let's do another study. This time, we will look at writing commands together. As write commands, in the operation, instead of get next, we select set and make the Let's make an assignment to a long variable. If we select the data type and press OK, it's seen that 78 is written in the long register. Similarly, let's do a study for word. Let's assign a value to the word register. Here, 2, first, we enter the relevant object ID for the object ID. Then when we say set at the object ID of 2, when we select the data type and press OK, we see that the value Now let's talk about the SNMP trap block. We'll talk about how it works towards the end of the video. Now, first, we connect the long register of the SNMP trap block to the input. Here you see the SNMP manager IP address and port inputs. We select how the alarm control should be, whether it should be greater, smaller, level change, or percent change. For example, when there is a 20-unit difference in level change, the output of the SNMP trap block becomes position 1. You can also enter the threshold value from the outside. This way, you can use the SNMP protocol.